Hey everybody, KT 90s Muscle here. This is day 3 of Mecum and Kissimmee. We're here to bid on a couple of Fox bodies that we had showcased for you the other day. The first one being a 92 LX white, the second one being an 89 or 88, I can't remember, GT. We're gonna take a walk around real quick. It's getting ready to start, and we're gonna head up to the staging area. I want to double check the mileage on that 92, and we're gonna take a closer look at the 89 and the light and see how the paint looks. But we're here, day 3. Let's go see what's going on. Here's that 88 GT we looked at on Tuesday. It's here underneath the lights, so you get a little bit better perspective on the paint rather than sitting out in the bright sun. Definitely looks like it's been polished, dual stage polished, if it's the original paint. If not, it's shining like it's new. But got one small little ping here, and a little stress crease right here at the front of the captain side door. Looks like it was loved a little bit too much here with the buffer on the driver's side corner above the turn signal. See a little ping down there on the passenger side door. Quarter window moldings are really nice. Door belts are really nice. We looked at the interior the other day. Red houndstooth, porno red. Excellent condition. It's got some aftermarket floor mats in it. But we looked at the spotlight and all that. Everything's good to go. So the 92 we checked out the other day is right behind me here. Little course correction. I had run a Carfax on the car. It was showing 30,000 miles, and I just jumped in and checked the odometer. That 8 in the sun, you know, I thought it was an 8. It was actually a 3. So the odometer is showing 30,000 and change. Having looked at this car, I seriously doubt that it's a 30,000 mile car. It's got all the telltale signs of it being a 130,000 mile car. You know, everything that should be worn is, you know, your quarter window moldings, the right spots in the interior, you know, your ashtray door, all the shit that wears out and it wouldn't wear out if it had 30,000 on it. That being said, it's still in, you know, OEM stock original condition. It's really clean, so we're going to be bidding on it. We'll see where it goes. We're not going to spend stupid money on it, but it'd definitely be worth picking up for the right money. Yeah, it's got a little rust under the door handle. There's some overspray back here. Somebody was touching something up. I don't know what. Open up here. I mean, it presents well in a direct light and indirect light as well. If you look at the hood, there's no major dents, dings, pings. I could see a small one in the back there on the passenger side. And you can still see the door fender misalignment there. It was most likely jacked up wrong. Back in the day, everybody jacked these things up here right under the fender and pushed them out of whack instead of going in further and getting on the subframe. So we got a nice example of a 3rd gen Camaro behind us here, 83 Z28, 5-speed car, black, about 30, well, it's in kilometers, which it came out of Ontario, Canada, but it's got about, say, 30,000 miles on it. Black car, doesn't lie, nice, clean, black car, straight, couple of pings, dings, but let's take a closer look at it. Run you down the side here. Only thing that comes jumping out at you are these couple of pings here on the fender. Looks like a rake or something and fell on it in the garage. It's not a J65 car. It's got drums on the back. Plastic's in nice shape in the back, not all cracked and broken, no spider webs, Passenger side is in really good shape. And we checked this thing out on Tuesday when we were here out in the bright sun. So this light's a little bit more forgiving in here. Hood's nice. Everything lines up. Good body seams. Plastic here in the front is really nice. Not all faded. No real chips. Decals are all really nice. It's got this really cool, here we go, we're back in the kind of porno interior. It's got these really cool embossed Camaros seats, which were, you know, screen 1983, but I think it makes the car in a way, and that 5-speed, you know, I wish they would have made the 5.7 in a 5-speed. They dropped that ball a long time ago, but it would have been cool. Anyway, this thing should bring some bucks. It's in really nice shape. We'll see where it's at. Let's kick it old school style. We got a 95 Silverado behind us, long bed, slammed to the ground. This is how we used to run it back in the day. You know, you got your extra cab, you fill it full of 12s or 215s and run around raising hell. But this truck's really straight for how old it is, and you know, the condition is pretty damn good at first glance. Let's take a closer look. Take a look down the captain's side. It's really straight. A couple of pings, dings here and there, but nothing really serious. A little scratch on the hood there. Same with the passenger side. Nothing egregious jumping out at you. Got some 20s on it. Supposedly a notch frame, so it's lowered. It sounds good. Take a look at the bed. Not all dinged up, dented up. Rear looks good. Tailgate, good shape. I think about 160-something thousand miles on this rig, so she's definitely been run, but still got some life left in her. Make a nice cruiser, driver. No reserve. We'll have to see what she brings. Take a look behind me. You can see the staging lanes here at Kissimmee, third day. Everything is moving along here. They just got underway. Cars are moving across the block. We're going to be going in shortly to take a crack at that 92. See what she brings. Never know. Might get lucky, may not. But just another day at the auction. We're going to head inside now. We've got a spot up by the block, see if we can take a crack at this 92. So it's already getting busy here. Got a lot of people in there. There weren't many bids on that 92, but it did bid up to 13.5. I could have probably won it. The reserve was pulled. I could have got it for 14, but with 130K on the clock, I think that was a little rich. You know, that's 14 plus the premium of 1,400 bucks. Another $2,000 to get it up to my shop in New Hampshire. You know, we're looking at, you're almost 20 grand in it, and you still haven't done anything to the car. So, wouldn't have been a good buy. So we let that one pass. There's a few more things we might bid on. So we're going to regroup here and give it another shot. So we just came off the block that white 88 GT with 30 blah 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 miles on it. Just went for 34 grand. So prices are alive and well in the Fox body world. They're shooting for the moon on low mileage Fox bodies, anywhere from the late 80s, early 90s vintage. If you've got one, it's either time to hold on to it or bring it to the auction, because 2023 is off to a good year for the Fox body world. Howdy, so we found another Fox body here to take a look at. This is a 93 notchback. It's one of 800 and blah blah blah, made in this reef blue color. I remember from back in the day there really weren't many running around. There was one in our circle in Lake Worth, Florida. Don't know what happened to that one, but there is one right here we can take a look at. Let's take a closer look. So first glance, we're going to go over from top to bottom, from the front. We got a set of reproduction headlights, no stampings from the Mecum. We got a set of Cobra reproduction rims off a 93 Cobra. actually off the 93 code, but these are more than likely 100% certainty repros. We don't know, but let's just say they're repros. Your quarter window molding's in really good shape. Door belts. This passenger side one's a little beat up. Cowl moldings, fairly good condition. Cowl in good condition. Looks like factory correct LX tailpipes.
Sweetest girl, gorgeous, and he just treated her like hell.
And there's some overspray on the passenger side, so something was resprayed over there. Fenders aren't rolled. These are 17, so the car looks like it could be lowered somewhat. It's fairly straight. We'll give it that. Don't know about the black 5.0 emblem. Door belts over here, not so bad. Chewed up a little. Quarter window's good. Interior. Looks like these seats are recovered. That's not a stock fabric, but I like the black. Rear seat looks pretty good. It's also been recovered. Matte pockets look like they've been redone. Oh yeah. Ashtray door works. If you look on here, is your find your DSO codes and whatnot. This is how when you're looking at like SSP cars and stuff, you could see, you know, different qualifiers for like molding and tape. Like that would mean a stripe down the side, you know, a pinstripe. Molding, color code, the interior code, what kind of seats it had. Here's your transmission code over here. For a 93, I believe 2 is the correct digit, the first digit for a 5-speed. The axle code, you know, all this stuff is gibberish in my head, but you just go to an SSP site online and they'll always have all the different source codes for all these different letters and whatnot, and you can figure out what kind of axle, you know, like is it a 308 or such, you know, you can figure all that stuff out just by looking right here on your driver's side door. Make sure everything checks out. Door's got a little sag. This car has subframe connectors in it. It's got looks like a, does it have a, no, I thought it had a brake kit on it. I think somebody just painted the front calipers red. It doesn't have a bigger brake kit on it from a SN95 car or such. So, and it does have rear, yeah, it still has the rear drum brakes. So we take a look at the engine compartment on this 93. It is more or less OEM stock original. Looks like somebody tried to put it back as much as they could, as best as they could. If you take a look here, you're going to see that your smog pump is not in place. They got a dummy pulley there. This looks like a aftermarket replacement air box. It probably had a cold air kit on it at one time. We got your distributor boot in place, but got some motorsports wires. They're not stock. You got some unequal length, looks like Mac headers on the car. The plenum has been sprayed, silver, resprayed. They got the plenum rubber cap, looks like an aftermarket one or OEM old new stock piece. Water pump's been done. Looks like somebody's been playing around in the thermostat housing. With the smog pump not being on the car, none of your rubber hose with actuator lines or the tube going down to the cats. The cats are not on this car as far as I remember looking at it, but the tube's not in place. Your vacuum lines are not in place for the smog pump either. Other than that, you know, first glance, it looks looks legit. I think the AC's been replaced. Looks like a new AC compressor with a newer line. New power steering pump, you can see there. It's got the coil cover with the correct decal. It's like overspray all over. Well, that's just dust from here. But newer wiper motor up there. We don't have a hood insulation blanket pad in place here either. So you got a new belt tensioner as well. So a bunch of new replacement parts here and there. New radiator cap. No, wrong cap for the water bottle. It doesn't have the low water sensor in it. Probably was bad, so they just stuck that cap in it. That's a common thing with these box bodies. The sensor that goes in the tank would go bad. You can get them now. They're about 70 bucks. But here's the quick and dirty way to do it. So behind me we've got another great example of some third gen action. We've got a 89 5.7 IROC in pristine condition. It's a Canadian car, so it's got less than 3,000 kilometers on it, so let's just call it 2,500 miles. Super clean, you can eat off the undercarriage, paint, everything speaks for itself. Let's take a closer look at this car. So it's white on gray, and the paint just pops, and there's not a ding, scratch, ping, dent, and the whole driver's side. The rear bumper is free of any kind of spider webbing or scratches to speak of. Passenger side, the same. No stress creases or pings, dings, scratches. The IROC wheels are pristine shape, condition. No wheel weight marks, no scuffs, no curb rash. Same with this one. Power antenna option. J65 rear disc brake option. Interior super clean. Which it should be with 2,500 miles on it, but this is probably about as good as example you're ever going to see. So for the third gen fans out there, we've got a very special treat for you. We've got the rarest of the rare of the third gens, a pair of them. Behind me we have a 1991 1 LE Camaro with about 2,000 original miles on it. It is a 305 5-speed variant. Over to the right of me we've got a 5.7 automatic car with I think it has 2 or 3 miles on it. It still has the plastic on the steering wheel. We're going to take a look at both of these. They were very specially optioned from Chevrolet. There were less than 500 made, I believe 478. We're going to take a look at the 5-speed car first. Has a C28 badging. It was not an IROC because IROCs were discontinued by 1991. This was kind of the swan song send-off for the third gen platform in much the same way as the Cobra was for the Fox body Mustang. This car had some special braking and suspension options. Also had this really cool or uncool, depending on how you felt about it, wing on the back, which denoted it as a 1 LE. On the inside, it looked like your everyday third gen Camaro of the era. As I said, it had 2,282 miles. So barely driven, but excellent shape. We're going to come over here and take a look at this 5.7 car. This is the 5.7 1 LE. I think this car has, I said 2 or 3. Let's check again. 6. Sorry, it has 6 miles on it. So I'm off by a few, but not many in the grand scheme of things. This one really pops. The paint's perfect on it. There's not a single blemish in the car. I think it's lived its entire life in a garage somewhere. There's a plastic on the steering wheel, red leather interior. I mean, it's still, I think this has been the last 3 days have been porno interior here at Mecum, Kissimmee. This is probably the 15th car we've come across with, you know, full-on red porno interior, and another red-on-red car. So bravo, get your groove on this thing. 6 miles. I guess you can't drive it, but you could get busy in the back seat in the garage. Yeah, there's your signature wing. Like I say, they made less than 500 of these. They were very special option package. They were very difficult to order, very rare. That's why you don't really ever see any of them. The ones that still exist were put in collections, and you know, just like this one, really never driven. But they are, you know, as I say, this is the swan song in the 3rd gen. This is the rarest 3rd gen of them all, and if you're into these, this is kind of what you need to put in your collection. So for the Sci-Ty fans in the house, we've got a 92 Typhoon behind us, black, black on black, 14,000 and change original miles. It's flawless paint, cladding's all in really good shape. Let's take a closer look. Yeah, we sold our 93 Typhoon back in 2018 here at Mecum. It had belonged to Clint Eastwood. Check out our video on YouTube about when we brought it up here. But in the long run, maybe we should have held on to it a little longer. It wasn't as in good a shape as this one, but it was clean. Had about 33,000 original miles on it. Like I say, this truck has 14,000 original miles on it, and it shows. Right next to it, it's a 91 Cyclone. 44,000 original miles. It's very clean. Where's its original paint? Well, it's got a set of aftermarket wheels on it. But little boost gauge on the pillar inside. Interior looks super clean. Even when we owned ours, it was hard to. Folks still didn't really catch on to them. They didn't know what they were. They didn't remember, or they had never encountered them back in the 90s. They kind of just, you know, looked like a S10 until you got up close and started poking around the thing, or you rode in it and drove it. But these were ahead of their time back in the day. They were, you know, they were trying to mimic what the Grand National had done. Turbocharged V6. The Typhoon, you know, all-wheel drive. It was pretty cool. Now they're finally coming into their own. These are definitely signature vehicles of the 90s. So we're standing in the middle of the Kenny and Marilyn Newcomb Mustang collection here at Mecum 2023. There are several different variants of Fox body behind me here, as well as a few different signature Mustangs over the years. The Fox bodies are what I'm interested in. Let's take a closer look at a few action. Behind me is their 93 Cobra in teal, less than 4,000 original miles. Car is immaculate. Let's take a closer look. Out of the 3 colors they made the Cobra in, the vibrant red, teal, and black. Teal was the had the fewest production numbers, so it's carries the highest value, if you will, but not my favorite. Black is my favorite. I still appreciate the teal. This one is definitely as good as it gets in terms of the paint. It's immaculate, not a scratch, ding, ping anywhere on the car. Extremely well preserved and taken care of. Everything on the car screams concourse. It's beautiful, and it really is a beautiful representation of the 93 Cobra in all of its glory. This one has the gray leather, which was an added option, makes it even rarer.